taking the victory lap here with our boy Big T. Massive takedown PGA last night. Shipped the Millie.
The Twins got the job done for our boy Hoop. Won him $100K, won him a live final seat.
JSU shipped $200K on, I think, just $1,000 worth of entries. He had a monster night.
Anytime we see members crush like this, we're excited.
Last night, one of our most loyal subscribers from the beginning, Jay Love, took down $20K.
I want to give a shout out to Redmen, who won over $50,000 on opening day.
Blind Bandit took down the $100,000 top prize.
We had someone win a live final seat.
It was one of those days where it's like going 5x or 10x on your money. It wasn't enough to get enough love in the Discord.
Record 62 took down the Millie Maker.
I don't even know if this heater is ever going to end.
Some of these other sites are just boring you to death.
I like how other sites nickel and dime you for every penny they can get.
Tons of the members have given tickets and membership on their own. Like, we're not telling them to do that. They're just doing it for good mojo.
You love to see it. We love the good mojo. And
the mojo is what the mojo is.
I give you credit for still having that hat on. We appreciate it.
Wait till we ship tonight. I might never take it off.
What's up? It is Run Pure Sports. We're gonna final countdown this thing up today. I'm really looking forward to it. Huge baseball slate, and as you know, if you're here right now, you know that we're gonna be grinding out baseball right through the end of the regular season. Probably do some postseason stuff. I'm sure DC, you'll be excited about that. We can bet with Joey Work. And before we even get started, introducing today's panel, since we are doing a free show for you, boop, like button. RPS NFL 15 promo code. Get you 15% off your monthly subscription for life, for the life of your subscription. Tons of NFL content coming. Code only works till the NFL starts. The Wishbone pod is out. Me, Uncle T, G Risen, JT Hayes. That's on YouTube and on Spreaker and wherever you find your podcast called The Wishbone. We did the show with the DFS and the bets. What is this? Picking winners is what we call it. Me and Keg and Mangone today. So go look up all of our great content. We got a lot going on here at Run Pure Sports. Mr. Draft Sheet, what is going on? I spent a little while watching the Derek Jeter induction ceremony today. Nice to see Jordan and Ewing there. I mean, the biggest part of that was seeing a couple basketball players. Tell me your thoughts on Jeter. What's your thoughts on Jeter after all these years?
I think clearly a Hall of Famer, but clearly overrated as well, right? I mean, the defensive metrics suck and kind of a little bit of a slap hitter. So many of those home runs going out to right field in Yankee Stadium would be fly ball outs anywhere else. And, took advantage of, kind of a right player, right time, right team type of guy, right? Like if, Derek Jeter's stuck on the Padres or whatever during all those years, I think you'd be a little less famous than he is, but no, I mean, still a Hall of Famer. And MLB, they just what are they doing there? Their Hall of Fame induction just like on a random Wednesday afternoon.
Because they had to cancel last year.
Oh,
so I guess this was the only day that Cooperstown was open.
I don't know what's going on there. Baseball. I love baseball, the sport, but yeah.
Have you been to the Hall of Fame?
No, I haven't been, no.
The museum is awesome. Cooperstown is the worst place ever in the history of the world. It's just a disgusting, horrible place. It's usually about 95 with 95% humidity during the induction ceremonies. So I think this is a great time to have it. They should be moving this thing back to September, October. Do it for I can't do it for a World Series game. But
one thing I did see on Twitter, a famous GIF used often on Twitter, the kid that gives like the respect. He's got like respect on his hat. And I think that was like he was tipping his cap to perhaps Derek Jeter. And it looked like that kid may have been at the at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Like, he's obviously a few years older, but he looked very, very similar to that little kid.
It's his son, isn't it?
I guess. I never knew that. If it is,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or that's
That
his
would make
uncle
sense
or
if he was
something.
there then.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I felt like I would have known that, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen that GIF thousands of times, being on Twitter as much as I am. So,
Steve,
Yeah.
did you ever watch Derek Jeter play? I mean, you're like you're an embryo still. Did you ever see him play?
So I grew up with Orioles season tickets. So I'm a Cal Ripken guy. So definitely not a Derek Jeter fan. Probably definitely the most overrated shortstop defensively, maybe ever, just because he had a couple flashy plays. Clearly a Hall of Famer, though. I actually went to the ceremony, and I think it was 15. That was the year when it was like Pedro, Smoltz, Biggio, and Randy Johnson, I think. So that was a good year. But yeah, you're right. It was hot as shit, humid,
Disgusting. Yeah.
and you sit out there like all day. So especially with 4 guys, it was a long afternoon. But bucket list thing, I guess.
The premium chat's informed me that's the respect
His
kid is
nephew.
Derek Jeter's nephew, apparently.
Said it was his son or his nephew. We got the
There we go.
nephew.
All right. The more you know, I guess.
Yeah, it's great. Little respect guy. So he's in Derek Jeter. Actually, I love Derek Jeter from the standpoint. I was at game 4 of the 01 World Series after 9/11, and he became Mr. November.
Yeah.
And that was just like, when you talk about Jeter, that was the perfect guy to do it, because after 9/11, New York, we're still reeling. October 31st. I mean, we're talking 6 weeks after. I never felt safer in a place in my whole life than Yankee Stadium that night. There were so many cops, so many people, so many, nothing bad was happening. They had the Eagle come down. Tino Martinez hits the home run in the 9th. The 10th, Jeter hits it. And I've just never been a part of anything like that, where like 6 weeks of just anger and frustration and hurt, and it just all came out. And he was the reason why. It was absolutely amazing moments. I always have a soft spot in my heart for Derek Jeter. No doubt. Right player, right time, right organization. Unlike you, though, I'm not going to take out the home runs to right field. I mean, Wade Boggs played at Fenway. Was he any less of a great hitter? Come on, give me a break. But yeah, Derek Jeter definitely has the Yankee fans on his side, so he's a bit more famous, and the media and everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously clutch player. Played like 160 games in the playoffs, which is awesome. Actually just pulled up his postseason stats. Hit 308, 374, 465 in the playoffs. So definitely a clutch hitter. I was just knocking his quote unquote elite defense, which was never even league average after he hit like 26. So.
We're such nerds knocking his defense. You can look at the defensive run saved.
I mean, you got to knock him down. Yeah. I'm a Cal guy, come on.
Yeah.
You're a Cal guy?
Cal Ripken Jr. Ever heard of him?
You know what's really cool about that, and this will be the last thing, then we can get in the rest of the stuff. Cal chose me to do his Hall of Fame radio show beforehand. It was probably, and that was easily the biggest honor of my career. It was him, Sandberg, Suter, and now look at me. I'm stuck with fucking DC and Steve Boynton on a free RPS show. This is what happens.
The mighty have fallen, Holden. The mighty have
right.
fallen.
Jeez.
Drain. What's that?
What happened, man? You used to have according to you, you had like the #1 show, and
it was great. It was amazing.
Sports media in Washington.
Yeah,
You were
and then
best friends with Cal Ripken, but now look at
not
you.
my best friend, Billy Ripken. Though he's a great guy. He's the guy you would hang out with. Cal doesn't have much of a.
He doesn't have a good baseball card.
Yeah,
Fuckface.
the F face.
Yeah.
Fuckface. That's terrific. Big slate today, guys. Really big slate. And I want to know where we should start at pitcher. DC, what was it yesterday? We had all those aces, or 2 days ago. Today's a little more watered down. I mean, Freddie Peralta's got to be up there. Frankie Montas has got to be up there. Looking forward to get your thoughts on Manoah against the Yankees. So let's talk just top shelf guys, like 8K and up on DraftKings. Who are you targeting right now?
Man, it's a scary pitching slate. I'll just be honest right off the top. I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in any pitcher on this slate. Normally, by this time we're an hour before lock. Right now, even a little less than that. I've got kind of my 2 guys that I'm planning to go with locked in. Of course, can be talked off that, Steve or you, Holden, or whoever it may be on the show. Today, I don't know yet who I'm going to play at starting pitcher. I think there's a lot of guys that you could make a case for, but you can pull close on all these guys. I mean, Freddie Peralta, the highest priced pitcher on this slate, returned from a short stint on the IL, wasn't good against St. Louis. They only let him go 53 pitches. He threw 43 in his last start before going on the IL. Matchup's good, pretty good against Philly, but I don't really want to pay 10.2K for Freddie Peralta. You got Shane McClanahan, good pitcher, shy of an ace level, I would say, for the most part. And he's in Boston, who have been red hot recently. Eovaldi in Boston isn't great. Darvish has been pretty awful these last few starts. In the second half of the year, he's been one of the guys that's really declined, after the sticky substance enforcement. So, yeah, I mean, you get to Frankie Montas. I think he's a pretty strong option. I don't mind Kyle Gibson. That's a high price tag to pay for him. Alek Manoah, you mentioned him. I mean, I think big upside against New York, right? A lot of high strikeout rates in that lineup, but scary, I mean, he's had some hiccups recently too. So, I don't think there's one pitcher, at least to me, that really stands out above the rest. Again, you want to keep going. Vladimir Gutierrez, good matchup against the Cubs. Touki Toussaint, big favorite, and that Washington Nationals team, as long as you can get by Juan Soto, they've been pretty bad. So, there are, of course, some options on a 9-game slate. There's always going to be, but none that I feel super confident in. So interested to hear what Steve has to say. Maybe. Well,
before you go to Steve, then, if you're not feeling confident in the top guys, just a quick yes or no. Is this a night that we pay down maybe?
I don't really like those
That's
guys.
the issue, right?
Yeah. That's the problem. All right, Steve.
No, it would be. If there's I don't know, like a Bailey Ober down there for 4,500, I'd play him. But I just don't even see anyone that's cheap that I like a lot. It's just tough slate for pitching. It just is.
Yeah. All right, Stevie, let's go. You know what? Run through the whole thing, and then we'll get DC's thoughts on the bottom of the barrel. But what are you doing at pitcher? We need some guidance today.
So one guy that DC didn't mention, who I'm definitely going to play some tonight, is Wainwright. He's pitched really well at home, just locked in duration. I think he's 6+ innings in like 10 or 11 straight starts. The Dodgers have been scuffling a little more than usual lately. I'm usually not one to use a starter against the Dodgers, but we've seen Waino up around 10K for a couple of starts now. I think some of that risk is kind of baked into his price. He's down to 8-1 here. I think I've said this a couple of times, but it's more of a context of the slate play. On a normal slate where we have a bunch of aces, we're not trying to jam in 8K Wainwright against the Dodgers, but I think he's a pretty good play here. I don't think that the optimizers will like him that much just because it's the Dodgers, but I'm fairly confident in him. He gets a good ballpark too. So I think that's going to be something that I use to break ties today. Is I'm going to play these guys in the good pitcher parks. Eovaldi and McClanahan are playing in Fenway where it's hot and the wind's blowing out. I usually like both those guys, but like as DC said, both teams just red hot. I think that those are a little more risky than, you're playing a Montas in Oakland, or, Yu has been terrible, but the Angels lose the DH again. We saw them just get mowed through last night. But, like he said, it's not a comfortable roster. So I think my two favorite guys are Wainwright and Alek Manoah, two guys that I don't think are going to be rostered a ton. Manoah, if you kind of dig through his splits, he has really struggled at home this year, but he's been pretty good on the road. The Yankees, like DC said, just striking out a ton right now. And, just constantly overvaluing the market. They went on that 2-week run where they were hot and they've sucked ever since. Boone is messing with the lineup. They're desperate. I think this team's might even miss the playoffs. So yeah, like he said, you're not jamming in a guy today with ultimate trust, but those would be my top two. And then Montas and Darvish, also in my pool for my 20 lineups. Boy.
Yeah, it's ugly, DC. Just look at these names down here. We got Nectat, Gutierrez. We got, Touki Toussaint's treated us kind of okay.
Yeah.
He's 7-3 on DraftKings.
I don't mind him.
No, you don't mind him?
I don't mind Toussaint. The Nats have been hitting a little better of late, but I think that's them kind of playing over their heads a bit than, their actual talent level. Mitch White is a guy from the Dodgers, again, in a good pitcher's park, and he's priced up a bit higher than you'd like. Definitely a tournament play just because of the volatility with, probably how many pitches he's going to go. But 2 outings ago, they let him go, I think it was 7 1/3. The Cardinals are an offense that we've been attacking with pitchers all season. So yeah, this is, I do like that low 8K range with guys who I think aren't going to be as popular, who are just pitching in either good parks, or the case with Manoah, I believe, in the strikeout upside on this slate, where we may not have a guy who strikes out 8 plus batters. So definitely not a sexy pitching slate.
You might not have an 8K strikeout pitcher tonight. All right.
I mean, look at this.
You're right.
Well, I think
you're
we
right.
probably will, but it's very difficult to identify who that might be, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to give me the field of one of these guys getting 8 strikeouts, I would take it, but
it could be Manoah too,
Yeah,
So-
no, Manoah, I think for me is the kind of the number 1 GPP guy. I just think he's got a ton of upside, which when nobody really seems safe, I guess I'll just chase the upside, and I think he'll be lower owned. He's got a pretty big team total against him. But we've seen it with him. He's capable of, if you told me, one pitcher is going to get 10 strikeouts tonight, Manoah would be near the top of that list for me. So I do like him. I like the Wainwright call a little bit. I do think the Dodgers' Mitch White is somewhat interesting at 8,200. I didn't mention him on kind of the first pass through there. We don't know exactly what the what the pitch count's going to look like for him, but he has been starting for a number of starts here. Like you mentioned, 2 outings ago, he's been shuttling back and forth between the big league club and minor leagues. But like you said, 2 starts ago at the big league level, they did let him go 91 pitches through 72 in his last outing back on August 29th, but he struggled in that one, which says something about this slate of pitching that's like almost like a positive. It's like, oh, maybe they would have let him go longer if he was pitching well. But yeah, this Cardinals lineup, good matchup there, not a scary lineup and a good place to pitch. And, his last outing at the minor league level, only 60 pitches there, but he got through 6 scoreless, 6 strikeouts. And I think they're just like, all right, come on out. You don't need to do anything, show us any more there. So should be fresh. And Dodgers bullpen kind of worn down. If he's rolling here, I could see them letting him go, but you could also easily get 2 or 3 innings out of him, right? If things are struggling and his spot comes up in the lineup with a chance to put some runs on Wainwright, wouldn't be shocking if they removed him from the game at that point either. So really risky,
definite
right?
risk.
At 8,200. But
What do you want to do on FanDuel? We've kind of been DK centric here. You got Wainwright at 10K. You got Wainwright. You got Manoah at 9.6. Peralta's 9.4. So the pricing's a little different. Montas is still 9. I mean, to me, that just stands out to me. We had a question about Kyle Gibson too. So DC, talk about Kyle Gibson just for a second, and maybe your 1 or 2 plays on FanDuel today specifically.
yeah, I don't love Gibson here. If he was cheaper, maybe. He's been good to us for most of the season, but faltering a little bit down the stretch. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in on it tonight at 8,700 on DraftKings at least. And yeah, FanDuel, I still kind of lean Manoah over there, 9,600. So you do got to pay a little bit. Prices are, I guess, not to be not surprising. I would say that they're kind of way all over the place, DraftKings compared to FanDuel, just because of it's that type of slate for pitching where there's no sure things. Montas, the one guy, does he have the same price? Yeah, he's 9K on both sides. So he's certainly an option. I think you'll see a lot of people go to Frankie Montas here. He's been really, really good for the most part over these last 6, 7, 8 starts. Yeah. Chicago, a little bit shorthanded. No Eloy Jimenez in the lineup for them. So a nice boost for Montas there. He's at home. And
TA's out too. Sorry.
Who's out?
Tim Anderson's still out too.
Yeah.
So you get Danny Mendick probably leading
good
off.
buddy TA.
I think if you had the safest play, maybe Frankie Montas, I think would be fair to say.
Okay. What do you think, Steve?
I think Montas and Darvish are probably the 2 options on FanDuel, with Manoah being right behind that. I'll be interested to see how owned Darvish is tonight. He's been awful for basically 2 months now. but it's just about the cleanest matchup that you're going to get. I'm definitely going to use him. I'm not super confident in him. Just, I've watched a couple of his recent starts and, they haven't been great. So, but like we said, with all of these guys, there are warts with all these pitchers. And then on Gibson, I think I'm going to play some Brewers tonight. So I'm not going to play Gibson. Like DC was saying, some cracks in the armor there for him. The Brewers have been hot, and on a slate where there's not a ton of like great hitting environments, the Brewers park might be, the top one on the slate as far as hitting environments there. So not on Gibson personally.
Steve, Big T says easiest pitching slate of the year. He's on Montas, which we're both on, I think, to some extent, and then Yu Darvish. So we haven't talked much about Yu Darvish. I don't have that much interest in him tonight. I mean, matchup's incredible. But I mean, Darvish has had, like one good start in the last month, basically at this point. Seems like a guy that's kind of wearing down to me. I mean, he had good matchups, 2 of his last 3 starts against Arizona went negative fantasy points in both of them, has been kind of on and off the injured list a little bit, been pushed back. So your thoughts on Yu Darvish? Because, I mean, you can't, the talent's there, the matchup is there. Vegas believes in it, right? You see a pretty low team total for the Angels here coming in at 2.65, lowest team total on the slate by a decent margin. It's dropped since the the lines have been released. So some faith out there, from Big T and our friends in Vegas on Yu Darvish. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, he's been bad. The underlying numbers aren't awful. And I think it's more about, the matchup and the context of the slate, like we're talking about. Snell just went through this lineup, like a hot knife through butter last night. It's tough to trust him.
Last night, that was kind of a conviction play, for me. And
so I don't have like huge conviction on Darvish, but I play 20 lineups, so I'll probably have 30% Darvish, something like that.
Probably match the field there then.
Yeah. Just because I do like these 8K guys probably more than the field does, so I'm gonna want to get overweight on the Wainwrights, the Manoas of the world on this slate.
Okay, guys, we'll head to the hitting side here in just a second. I thought we had another question here. There was just about Heel. I feel like there was a couple discussions about that. I'm back to Cincinnati and the Cubs. All right, so let's talk about that for a second. ODB, anyone horny for Cincy? And Big T even said maybe you'll go back to the Cubs. I can't imagine. I can't imagine why you would go back there. DC, maybe you could tell me why. Maybe every offense is in play because we got crappy pitchers out there besides for Montas and a couple other dudes. But let me tell you this, NFL. Don't we have a couple big shows tonight, Simon? Don't we have a couple of really big shows coming up a little bit later on tonight? Isn't the Print Factory coming back and all these other terrific shows? Big T's pulling double duty before he heads out of town. I think he's going out of town for the championships. RPS NFL 15. It's the promo code. Get you 15% off your monthly subs for the life of your subscription. The life of your subscription. Tons of NFL content coming out. We already got our content started. So the premium content's out there. RPS NFL 15. Get in before this weekend because this thing, again, Hoop was threatening you. Hoop was putting like a knife right to. I'm going to be a little nicer. You got to the weekend and then you just lose it and you got to pay us more money. So you might as well just get in right now. You get core plays, you get all these shows, you get videos, podcasts. The podcasts are free though. That's a good thing. Me and the old guys last night had a good time. So look up the Wishbone podcast. Okay. So here, what are we doing offensively? Can we just go before we do that? Can I say the oddest thing I've ever seen here is Sean Nolin going for the Nationals today. He's a lefty and lefties murder him. Like ISO against him is well over 300. The righties aren't doing it. What do you know about this, guys? It's a little bit weird if you ask me.
Yeah, small sample size there, right? 17 innings in his big league career.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's any good. He's 31 years old and couldn't crack the Nationals pitching staff until this late in the season, basically. So typically that kind of tells you a lot of what you need to know about a pitcher, at least from where I'm coming from. I mean, he was going like 4 or 5 innings at AAA. He was okay there. But yeah, I mean, I think the Braves look like a pretty good spot to me. I'm not really worried about the Nolin splits, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not even saying no. I'm just saying that's a little bit odd that you see that. But yeah, it's 17 innings, but still the lefties have gotten off to a hot start against them. So that's interesting. Top stack today, and then we'll get to some of the other ones. And guys in the chat and ladies in the chat, get your questions ready. We're going to get our premium subscribers first, but we'll get your questions too. So DC, top stack of the night.
Ooh, top stack. There is a lot to choose from on this slate. I mean, that's always the case, right? Anytime you can't really find any pitchers that you're in love with, there's a ton of ways to go on offense. I really like the Braves here. Back to the Sean Nolin discussion. They've got a strong lineup out there today, a lot of right-handed bats. I know Nolan's not been good against lefties so far, so include Freddie Freeman if you want, but I think they'll do damage there. Some weather concern in Atlanta. I do think that game is going to play, especially, a little bit of risk if you're going to play Tuki Toussaint, I think. But in terms of, the game actually getting in all 9 innings, I feel pretty confident about that at that point. So Braves number 1 for me. I like the Royals some against Matt Harvey. I think tell me if you agree with this, Steve or Holden. The ownership against Harvey seems like it's kind of through the roof in general. Just, like he's not that much worse than a lot of the other pitchers on this slate, right? So I think people see Matt Harvey and they're just like, I got to stack against him, which I get it. He's bad, but there are a lot of places to go here.
You know what else? That bullpen's worse.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
No,
it's
for sure. I mean,
Matt Harvey, like you always talk
about. I'm not saying don't stack the Royals, but I think that's kind of the default for a lot of people. They see Matt Harvey on a slate, they see Camden Yards, and they're just like, all right, I'm going against him.
What do you think, Stevie?
I mean, it's a pretty easy spot. The issue is that the 2 of the best 3 hitters on the Royals are 5.3 and 6K. So usually I'm playing the Royals in a good spot because they're cheap. And they allow me to get to some ace pitchers that I want. That's not really the case here. Outside of Witt, Salvi, and Mondesi, the team's pretty weak. So, man, I like to stack against Harvey, at the best of them, but I don't think that I'm going to be on the Royals here today. I actually like the other side of that game a good bit. I like the Orioles more than the Royals here. Minor kind of struggled of late, really struggles against righties, and the Orioles lineup is out 9 right-handed hitters going up against him. The top 5 or 6, I think, are definitely the targets here. And, it's kind of the opposite of the Royals lineup. They're all cheap, so it's not a stack, where you're reaching to play like a 6K Cedric Mullins or Austin Hayes or Santander or something like that. You can get their top 5, and the highest salaries 4.5 and 4.3. So Minor struggling against righties, especially recently. So I like them. I mentioned a couple other teams earlier. I'm going to be on the Brewers tonight. Talked about it for a bit. Their prices have come way down lately, even though they've been hot. They scored a bunch last night. I'm definitely not a fan of the Phillies bullpen behind Gibson. I think Gibson's been a little shaky lately. You get Wong, Escobar, Yelich, Narvaez all for 4.4 or less. And their team total isn't huge here. And I like the hitting environment. So I think that's kind of like my under the radar stack that I like the most tonight.
It's your under the radar stack. You like, okay. Very good. Let's go down the rest of the stacks here, DC. And by the way, thank you, Simon. So we got a couple shows coming up right after this. I'm going to take the Young Guys pod with Title and Rubio. We're going to preview week 1. But the big show tonight, Print Factory. Big T's going to be on that one with the studs, 7:15 Eastern time, 7:15 Eastern. Thursday night Showdown. So getting you ready for the Showdown slate. Big T's going to be on that one. I think JSU's going to hop on that too. 9 o'clock Eastern. If you want to win some money, or as they call them, the giblets or the giblets. Make sure you watch that show tonight at 9 o'clock. It's extraordinarily helpful And Showdown's a nice little way to make some money. I'll tell you that much. All right, DC, let's do this, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, other stacks.
Well, who am I mixing in with my Braves? Would I go Cubs? Come on, what am I doing here?
I like the Cubs. I mean, Schwindel's been on fire. Ian Happ is finally starting to hit. If you look at his numbers over the last 14, 30 days, they look incredible. Pretty good hitting environment back in Wrigley today. So, yeah, I'm not a big necktat Vladimir Gutierrez guy. So I think the Cubs are kind of sneaky. What about the Padres? The Angels going with a bullpen game today. Those aren't the games that we like to target necessarily, especially, you get a team like the Dodgers or whoever who has like a good bullpen. The Angels don't have anybody in the pen that's going to pitch well. I mean, they're starting it with Mike Myers. Then they're going to hand it off to Oliver Ortega is the plan. I mean, you probably never heard of either of those guys for the vast majority of people listening, right? Like, these are just two scrubs that are kind of planned to go here. And then
you got an Ollie Ortega guy?
No, Oliver Ortega. No, I mean,
Ollie
we got a
Ortega.
FanGraphs page up right now, and it doesn't look particularly good.
Yeah,
to me.
right.
So, I think the Padres. Yeah, I mean, West Coast game. We do have their lineup out early, so you're not going to get necessarily the. It's an earlier game than it typically is, the ownership discount or anything like that. But, yeah, I don't know. The Padres just haven't had a lot of hype behind them recently. Been kind of scuffling to the finish here a little bit in September, but I think they could do some damage against this Angels team.
Okay. Who are we mixing in here with our main stack, Steve?
Yeah, so I had the Padres on my list too. I played them last night, and they really hurt. I had a bunch of Rays 5-mans with some Tatis who went like 0 for 5. But I think I'm going to go back to them here, for the reasons that DC said. Other teams I'm interested in for my 20 lineups, the Reds were mentioned earlier. Alec Mills. He's had a couple of troll starts on us in good offensive spots this year, but he's also gotten absolutely bombed in spots just like this. The Reds aren't overly expensive. They've been absolutely crushing right-handed pitching over the last month plus. Number 1 team in isolated power in the last month against righties. It's a nice day here in Chicago. The ball's going to fly. And I like the lineup that they put out. Schrock is the only guy that will probably get pinch hit for. Maybe Barnhart, but probably not. And you got the rookie of the year leading off for 4-3. His price is down a bit. He was up over 5K for a while. Naquin's been hot. Castellanos, Votto. Yeah. So, in on Reds for sure. And I think that they fit well with a team like the Braves, with a team like the Brewers or Orioles, like I was talking about earlier. And then the last team is going to be the Blue Jays. They're not in like a smash spot like they have been a couple of times over the last 2 weeks, against a shit pitcher. But, this is a big series for them. They had a big win last night. Their prices are down a little bit. These guys, Vlad, Bo, Semien were up around 6K for a while. Their prices have come down, even though they have hit well, especially lately in the split. So Toronto 5th weighted runs created plus, 7th ISO in the last month against righties. I do like the kid for the Yankees a bit, but I don't think he's been in a spot like this against, a top, 6 or 7 of this lineup that is just super dangerous against any pitcher.
Okay. Let's get to some questions here. I know Gavitz is in the free chat. Premium subscribers, we'll do it in the live show chat too. So we can get to that. Colin Forsex. Any fuck Colin Forsex? Is this a joke? What do you think?
Probably, since I don't know who that is.
I've never heard of Colin Forsex. Colin Forsex. I just got it. Fuck you, Gavitz. That was a good one, though. He totally got me. It took me a second to read through it, and now all these dickheads are going to do it. So I'm not even reading questions. Gavitz, you're banned for the rest of the show. Who'd you ban, DC? You just banned someone in the preview chat. Who got banned?
No, I don't actually ban people. It was just
all right, I'm banning him.
He was saying he's giving me a hard time for being on the Braves again. I mean,
Why?
Listen, the Braves have been good to us all season. They've got the highest. Do they have the highest team total on the site? I think they might.
Definitely,
So I don't know. Sorry.
That was so good. You got me good, Gavitz. Where's K Phallic? I've asked him 3 times hop on. He's like, I gotta leave in 45 minutes. You're gonna make fun of me. Who cares if we make fun of you, K Phallic? We need your knowledge today. People that work at RPS are asking K Phallic for his knowledge. Simon, will you please send him a link and say, if you don't come on, you're in a lot of trouble, Sonny? Put it exactly like that, because that is going to force him to get on the show. I want to know what's going through Phallic's head. I haven't talked to him in a while.
I think he's on the
JPL.
Rays tonight.
Huh?
I said, I think K Phallic's on the Rays tonight.
Well, I'd rather him tell us than Stevie Boynton tell us. Come on, K Phallic. Are we worried about you? Has velo decreased the last 4 games, JPL?
I am worried about him.
Yeah, we are worried about you.
Yeah.
Real quick on that New York starter, DC. Have you watched his couple starts?
You talk about heel?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at, one of the reasons that I was looking at Toronto is what I said before, but also 100% left on base rate so far and 23% ground ball rate. So extreme fly ball pitcher at Yankee Stadium. And I don't think anyone's going to play the Blue Jays tonight. So
yeah,
I'm into it.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean,
tournament play for sure. But
yeah, anytime you get the Blue Jays super low on, I mean, this is still a rookie pitcher, pretty much a 2-pitch guy, right? So he's 55% fastballs, 36% sliders, and just mixing in the changeup. Listen, if the Blue Jays, if he's not able to get swings and misses on that slider, it's going to get tough for him, right? Like the Blue Jays hit right versus right fastballs just about as well as anybody. So
yeah,
I think that's a good call there.
Okay, very good. Gavitz, I'm very impressed. You got me on that one though.
That was a good one.
Thoughts on Mitchell White on FanDuel from Joe? Joe is our FanDuel guy. He always wants help on FanDuel, and we give it to him. What do you got?
I'm not as convinced of his duration as the other guys. He is super cheap though. He's 6'1" on FanDuel. So, if you think that he can go 6, I don't have an issue with it. I see K Phallic's here though.
He is here. Thank you, K Phallic. My goodness, my friend. How are you? When do you have to leave?
Happy New Year, Holden.
Ah, yes. Yes, Happy New Year, K Phallic. Oh, yes. When do you have to leave? When are you leaving?
I have to get out of here in 20 minutes.
You got plenty of time.
I have Rosh Hashanah dinner.
All right. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Is this the one you fast?
No, that's the next one. That's next week.
It's been a while, pal. It's been about 35 years. So anyways, can you run down picture for us, your pool tonight, K Phallic? I first of all, I miss you. Second of all,
good to see you.
I need stuff here. I got to have more phallic. So let's go. What's your pitcher pool?
I don't know how to respond to that statement. I know that I got made fun of it for my entire life. So you saying it in the way that you did was a very interesting way.
I got to have more phallic. That's what people say.
That's a very interesting way of putting it. You may need to go look up in your dictionary what phallic means, because I got made fun of it my entire life.
It looks like a penis. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
right, keep going.
Anyways, Frankie Montas, I like. Strikeout upside, bigger park, all that good stuff. I like Kyle Gibson more than I think everybody else does. I think that he is a solid pitcher. He's had one bad start recently. Not a ton of strikeout upside from what I can tell, but he does have a good umpire. He is playing in Milwaukee. Like, all of the factors that I look at he checks off the boxes of being a fine play in my book. The only other pitcher that I am looking at is, who was it? Manoah. And I don't like him, but I see that he has a long leash for being a rookie. Like, he's got a 105 pitch leash.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. So the concern is obviously home runs. The concern is all these other factors, but he has an insanely long leash for a pitcher of age and youth.
Yeah, the thing with Manoah, you mentioned the leash, like on a slate that just is tough for pitching. I mean, if he's rolling, right, they'll let him go. Like they let him go even when he's kind of struggling, which obviously is kind of good for the floor, but it's especially good for the ceiling. And there's just not many pitchers with the ceiling here. So it's a roll of the dice with Manoah, but every pitcher kind of feels like a little bit of a roll of the dice here. So
correct.
Give me the guy that, I mean, Manoah, would you be shocked if he had 5 strikeouts through 2 innings here? No, you really wouldn't be. And then he's going to get probably, 100 plus pitches if he's pitching reasonably well. So yeah, he makes a lot of sense. I think it's going to require a lot of Yankees swinging less than his placing of pitches and I try not to put too much data into or thought into the umpire data, but he has what is considered this like young umpire that just allows a ton of walks. He has this Moscoso guy. It's not great for Manoah. I would say he would be one of the pitchers that I would be less concerned about that with, because he's got a big fastball and then kind of a slider that he's trying to get swings outside the zone on. He's not.
It's Lance McCullers-ish. He reminds me a lot of Lance McCullers, but
not a ton of called strikes with him anyway.
Correct.
Right?
So anyways, those are the 3 pitchers that I'm looking at, and I'm pretty heavily on those 3. Bats, I'm definitely struggling on, but I will say pieces of the Tampa. I know Steve said it briefly, but pieces of the Tampa Bay lineup allow you to make a lot of things happen. This Josh Lau, whatever he is, he's 2K. He's a top 5. He's Wander Franco take 2 of the only difference is he's an outfielder instead of a shortstop. So you're gonna have to use your outfield position on him. But he's 2K and he's a top level prospect. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, Josh Lau for the for the Rays. You're talking
Correct.
about. This is MLB debut, I believe, today.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone well for all the prospects, obviously, as you might expect, but just for those watching, I'm sure many people haven't heard of him until right now. 21 home runs and 24 steals at AAA this year. 2019, he sat out obviously the 2020 season. He had 18 home runs, 30 steals. So power, speed, prospect, min price. Don't
it's worth
necessarily
it.
Get by the 8-hole.
Yeah. And he's gonna, because he's in the 8-hole, he's going to be lower owned than he should be. Yeah. And that's what I like. If he was
hitting 5th or 6th, his ownership would double. And
So that's I
like him a lot today.
I guarantee you, I will have him in all my lineups for sure. I like Atlanta. I like Tampa Bay. I'm struggling yet again, as I do every single day, with Kansas City and Baltimore, because they should be in one of the best spots today. If you look at who's pitching and how these guys go, stack up against these pitchers. San Diego is always in play right now with what the Angels are throwing out. But I'm not sure I'm going to mess with it just because their prices are high on the guys that you really want. And so you have to make decisions when you're talking about pitching plus bats, like mixing all those together. I want to consider the Dodgers, but I'm struggling considering the Dodgers because I know Wainwright's just that good. But they're going to be unowned as they have been lately, and we always know that they have the best lineup in baseball. So,
are you on the Orioles at all today?
Real quick, because we got a question about weather. We're 20 minutes from lock here. The question was about Baltimore. I'm not worried about Baltimore. I think we might have a little bit of rain, and the percentage is we see a chance up until about 9:30, and then likely closer to 10:30. So if there is any issue, they'll try and get it back in. There might be a delay or a shortened game, but honestly, I mean, we're talking about 3 hours before it gets bad, so they might get through it. So I'm not worried about it. Sorry about that, Stevie. There's a question I wanted to get it out. I've been waiting for a while.
No, I think it'll be fine. But I hadn't checked since we got on the show, so it's always good to have an
I've
update.
recently checked the weather. I mean, the rain. Fine. The rain might eventually get there, but it's a long ways away right now. If you're on that game, I would just roll with it. Same with Atlanta, to be honest.
All right. let's get some questions. Let's go do some question time. And the premium subscribers will get to you guys first, and then we'll get to the rest of them, and then we'll all be good. And you know what? DC, you already answered most of them. Here's one for you. Old Blue, Meadows or Renfroe tonight, DC? Meadows or Renfroe?
I will lean Renfroe there. Meadows, the Rays have kind of soured on him a little bit recently. He's out of the lineup always pretty much against lefties these days. And, you know, if they're not willing to start him against...
He's been getting pinch hit for it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a pinch hit candidate for sure. So
I do listen. I as a person who's stacking the Rays, I do a full wraparound: 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, and stop at Nelly Cruz.
Yeah, I like that call a lot.
Yeah.
You get the lefty like listen. Eovaldi's not that great against righties, to be honest. He's just as good versus lefties as he is against righties. He's a fair pitcher, but he allows steals and he allows home runs. So I'm going to get the power bats with the guys that I think are not going to get pulled, that are threats to be pulled in pitch hit situations. And in my opinion, like Josh Lau is going to be, I guess, a pitch hit risk if you think about it solely because we don't know much about him, and he's
but you're paying less than half.
You're paying $2K. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You're paying $2K for him for a reason. Mm-hmm. So why I'm trying to, like, in my opinion, people are going to try to hang into that like middle of the lineup, the like G-Man Choi because he's 3.7, Austin Meadows 4.5, the lefties.
I don't think anyone's on the Rays in general. I think you're kind of you know, I wasn't really on them, to be honest. So I think you might be on a little bit of an island there, which I say that as
hey, I was on an island on them last night and it worked out.
No, I say that as a good thing. That's not an insult whatsoever. You want to be on an island as much as you can in DFS.
So speaking of last night, DC, last Thursday on that small slate where Uncle T hopped on and me and Uncle T were all over the Rays against Erod, and he threw like 7 shutout innings. And then he pitches against them last night and get absolutely shelled. Hated to see that. But oh well.
Thanks for sharing, Steve. Appreciate that.
Well, you hadn't directed the show in about 15 minutes.
Well, I mean, everybody's having a nice conversation. You got to know when you're not jumping in, but I had to put a stop to it after that nonsense that you just gave us. So thank you, Steve. I do appreciate that. Large field GPP, Money O, Nectat or Eovaldi. What do you got, guys?
I'm not using a starting pitcher against the Rays right now. They're just too hot. We just talked about how we like the Rays for 10 minutes, so definitely not on Eovaldi here.
Yeah, and Josh
was doing whatever he was doing during that time. He didn't hear any of that. So.
No, actually, you know what I was doing? I was writing down all the hot chicks Derek Jeter got with. I got a whole list of them right here.
That's exactly the kind of random thing that I was accusing you of doing.
I mean, what do you think? Who's the best looking one? You're the one that brought it up. Who's the best looking one that he was with? Jessica Biel, Adriana Lima, Minka Kelly, his wife, Vita Guerra, Scarlett Johansson, Mariah Carey.
How do you know this list?
Because I just looked it up.
Oh, I thought you were just, off the top of your head.
Girls,
it's a very, very strong list.
Yeah. And that's just the ones we know of.
Are we talking like when they're in their prime, each of these?
Oh,
girls?
Definitely prime. We don't need them now. I mean, Derek Jeter. Yeah, he's he's married to a girl in her prime still. So he's he's older than me. What do you think? I'm going to go Scarlett Johansson.
Beal. Yeah. Beal or Scarlett. Yeah.
I'm going to go Scarlett. K Fallick, any interest in chiming in on this important conversation?
I shook my head as in agreement. I think
as which one?
I would say Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, boy, she
no love for Mariah. Okay.
Mariah in her prime was
in her prime.
Who I think is better than Mariah?
Current Mariah, absolutely.
Jessica Alba. That girl was so amazing. She probably all of these girls are still really good looking.
Probably not all of them.
You don't think all of them? Mariah Carey put on some.
I bet there's one or two out there that have had a fall off.
DFS production. Can I get draft cheats? Yesterday's Dodgers Giants call. Thanks.
I don't know exactly what I'm being asked here, but
he wants to know your.
Is he making fun of me for something?
Field call for tonight. You're out of left field call for tonight.
Okay, out of left field call for tonight. Okay, I can give one of those. How about the Phillies against Freddie Peralta coming back from injury? struggled through his last start, short leash. You know, we just don't really know what to expect from him. Of course, you've got the good Milwaukee bullpen behind him, but you know, maybe K. Felix guy, Kyle Gibson shuts him down, and they get the bad relievers out of the Milwaukee bullpen. So I'll throw the Phillies in there as a what? I mean, I think Bryce Harper probably leads the ownership in Philadelphia, but I would be surprised to see him over 10%, frankly. So maybe over 5%. So I think you can get the Phillies. 5 Phillies at a combined, I don't know, 30% ownership, something like that. Seems pretty good.
Everyone in the chat's pissed off that Josh Lowe is not on the FanDuel slate. What do you expect? Seriously, at this point, like, do you expect anything else? Big Dick Nick. Hey, Big Dick, what's up, buddy? 4,700 shortstop. Who's the only guy I want, DC?
Mondesi. This is an easy one.
That was it.
Yeah, I just built. Let me just try. I'm playing 2 lineups. I've locked in Kyle Gibson. The other lineups one has Manoah, one has Montas, 5 Tampa Bay guys that I just listed off, and then I'm mini stacking one side Kansas City, one side Baltimore, and it fits like a glove. I feel very good about it. So Mondesi is a short answer. A long answer to a short question is Mondesi is he's going to be forgotten after he was like 50% owned yesterday because
bombed last night,
and he just sucked. And now they dropped him into the 6 hole, and now he's going to be completely forgotten. And you can fit him easily with their cheap guys at the bottom of the lineup that still have talent as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rocky's bullpen, for causing a total of 11 push. These guys suck so bad. They're up 4-3 in the 9th, and they let San Francisco do that to them. What a joke. Get out of here, Rockies. You guys suck. So DFS production said, yesterday you said your favorite was the Dodgers and the Giants, and they crushed. So I was asking what 2 teams are those for?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say that one's on me because I did say those are my 2 favorite stacks. Yeah. They both went off, and we were saying, oh, they were the low on. I had like skipped a day. I was thinking back to when the Dodgers and Giants were playing themselves and are playing each other, and they weren't doing super well. So my apologies, DFS production. I should have recognized what you were just asking for the plays, which, you know, we're 13 minutes before lock. I feel like I've given out my plays so far, but yeah, that's my fault. That's on me.
Right. You just addressed that you screwed up, but did you want to address his question or just move on? Cause you're,
well, no, I'm on the, so it would be the Braves and the Padres is where I would go.
T Shoes. You know, what's awesome. I see a lot of new names here in the premium Discord. We got a lot of new people signing up. You're going to love it for NFL season. RPS NFL 15, T Shoes. Last piece, DKGPP, Naquin or Rosario? What do you got, boys?
I'm looking right now.
I like both guys.
Yeah, me too.
Naquin's hot. He's sitting in the 2 hole. I'm not sure how popular the Reds will be. I'm on them personally. But yeah, I mean, I'm on both those teams.
Huh.
I assume that's Eddie Rosario, but it could all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Eddie Rosario's not on the slate. I would go Naquin there. But, yeah.
So Naquin, I would say Naquin.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, Big T has a question. Where do I bet the over on Mondesi percentage for the Forgotten Man? So everybody's forgetting.
Oh man. Next question. We have 5 minutes until I'm leaving. So ask the next question.
Is that a shot at you? Because
yes, he always likes to take little shots. He loves it.
Is it getting to you, Kate Fallick? Let's be honest here, because if we need a reset with Big T, we need a reset. I don't want you feeling bad. I want you being happy and
sexy. Oh, I'm good. Listen, Big T
for us.
Big T, I am a part of this business solely because of Big T. Okay. And he knows that. So we give shots to each other, but the only reason I am here is because of Tony Niehaus. So
you're just giving him more power now, man. You got to stand up for yourself a little bit.
I don't need to. I don't need to give it. He knows that I'm here because of him. He knows that
you're doing it
I
again.
want him to be successful and the company to be successful.
Okay. O'Hearn or Santana from DJ Andy T. Santana. Big Dick Nick again. Hi, Big Dick. Is there good leverage on going Crone zone over Mondesi?
Going who?
Cronenworth? Yeah. I think Cronenworth's fine play too.
Yeah, he's good.
All right. I'd never called him Crone Zone.
Yeah, I was like Jay Crone played earlier, and I couldn't think of who that was.
I thought it was CJ Crone too, but I was like, they're different positions.
Whoever their TV announcer yells like Crone Zone when he hits a bomb. Cronenworth.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Yes, where it came from.
Thoughts on Steele upside against Matt Harvey from Florida Click. Can I ask you guys how much do you take that into account when you're building lineups? And what do you think about the shot against Harvey tonight? Nothing.
Only the elite of the elite do I really look at, to be honest. Okay. But Harvey is not someone that I'm wanting to like really consider Steele upside with, to be honest.
I definitely look at the pitchers and catchers that allow steals, but more so for the kind of guys, that are 10 to 20 steal guys throughout a season, like Mondesi. He's going to run on the Orioles, right? If he gets a chance, I think. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
He's going to run against any team. He's going to.
No, I know. But I mean, he's going to run. Yeah, he's going to run.
Okay. What was I also? Oh, JSU is in the premium chat. Hey, JSU. Just so you know, if you haven't listened to the Wishbone podcast yet, JT Hayes ripped you a new one and said your wine is shitty. So I just wanted to let you know that. So when you listen to it, just expect for that. And one of us said something like you would stand on a chair and kick us in the shins. I don't remember who that was. Big T.
I enjoyed listening. I hope all of y'all listened.
Did you listen?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I listened to that.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's a fun show. A bunch of old dudes.
I continue to say that I would love to watch y'all on video instead of podcast, but I know that may not be an option.
No, we just did that. It's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube? I didn't look. Next
YouTube.
Week I'll have to watch instead of listen because I can only imagine the facial expressions that each of y'all have after a question's asked or anything.
Yeah, basically just listen. We tape it on Tuesday. How much we got for the NFL? It's basically just stop by and find out what's going on behind the scenes, and we'll talk shit about the people we work with.
I'm on Monday and Tuesday shows this year. So,
hey, Uncle T ripped you too. JSU is very uncomfortable. JD Martinez and Renfro or Cruz and Choi from Drew A. Basically a Red Sox v. Rays. Martinez, Renfro, Cruz, Choi.
I trust the Rays more right now, personally.
Okay. Clint Friday. Holden, I'm late today. Favorite two-pitcher combo for the single entry DK. Kate Fallick, why don't you take this one?
Kyle Gibson, and then it's either make a decision on Manoah or Montas. Most people are going to go Montas. Manoah is going to be lower owned. And I would say he has just as much upside as Montas does.
Albies or India on DK from David Frank. Anyone want to take that?
I think Albies better, but both are good plays.
Yeah, same.
Man, going. Stevie has all the MLB Hardo nicknames. Yeah. Is there any other nicknames you want to?
I mean, if you watch the sport, you would know the nicknames.
I watch the sport.
I'm not talking
nicknames.
No, I mean, I've just seen like on MLB Network, they'll go to a Padres game and Cronenworth will hit a walk-off and he goes, "Welcome to the Crone Zone." That announcer always screams every time there's a bomb, like way over the top. I don't even remember who it is, but
you don't even remember what team it is?
No, I don't remember the announcer's name.
I'm usually like 9 beers deep by the time the Padres play out on the West Coast, so I don't remember
the TV announcer is Dave O'Brien for the Padres. Yeah, that's who does it. And Mark Sweeney is one of their analysts. So one of those guys are Crone zoning them up. Okay, yeah. Very good. JSU did hear the podcast. Thanks for doing your job this time, JSU. Love the fact that you're actually going to listen to the show that you wanted to do this year. Red Stack 1 through 5, DKGPP question mark from Kyle Sexton. Any of you guys?
Absolutely,
Stack
Alec Mills in that bullpen for sure. Yep.
Thank you, Comment Wars. I think it was good too. Red Stack. Okay, you or Montas FanDuel? I mean, how do you answer that question, guys? Answer the question. I'm interested in seeing how you actually answer this thing.
Montas.
Well, I trust Montas more right now.
I'm not touching you until I see you. I'll be late to the party on you right now. I don't care how bad this Angel lineup looks or anything. You is a mess right now.
Do you trust the nerd like me and Steve, or do you trust the big winner like Big T who's all over you? You got to kind of.
They're all over you. Screw that! I gotta go Montas, man. You can't go.
I'm going Montas.
All right, guys. As I promised my family.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of the holiest day of the year, or one of them, I'm sure, and then coming and spending time with us. Thank you very much.
Shana Tova to all the Jews that are watching, and I wish you all a happy New Year, and good luck tonight.
All right, thank you very much, K. Fox. See, we didn't make fun of you. The only person that made fun of him was who? Big T.
All right,
take care, buddy.
Guys.
Good to see you. Take care of yourself. I always love having Falak on. Sometimes make fun of him. I feel like he needed a little pat on the butt today. Do you think he looked a little sad? He looked sad to me, like he's repenting for something.
He has children, so he's just sad.
We're all in regret. Yes, we all have very many regrets.
Yeah.
Favorite Brewers today, and do you like the Brewers better than the Jays today? From Peter Porker. Hey, Peter Porker, you said some really mean things about me. It hurt my feelings. I cried a minimum of 30 minutes after the show the other day. So please be nice, okay? I'm reading your question. I'm a very sensitive person. Favorite Brewers, and are they better than the Jays?
I think I'm the only one here on the Brewers. I do like the Brewers a good bit. I don't think that they'll be very owned. So I think that you can use, the top guys. The top 5 are not going to get pinch hit. They're all under 4.5K. And I think that you can play a full 5-man with any 2 pitchers on the slate that you want.
Peter Porker, go sign up too while you're at it. RPS NFL 15. The other thing is we got 422 like and 110 likes. Are you kidding me? DC said a number that we need. Come on, we got 5.
Where are we at?
110. What a
Let's see if we can pump this up to 115. 115 for the end of the show.
At least.
Please try it. Let's try and get DC's magic number here. 115. All we're asking is for 5 more. Can we do it? I don't know. All right, so we answered that last question, right? We're all good. We're good there. Good. It's good to hear. Oh wow, I did leave your podcast to get with it. She wasn't 20, she was 40. Uncle T. I had a date. That was it. We got to get out of here. Gun to my head. I need one. The kid. This is. I don't ever like the gun to the head thing. It happens. Like JJ on the bet side, his dad had a gun to his head. Imagine asking him that question. Gibson, Manoah, White, or Waino? I already got Tukey. Draft cheat. Gibson, Manoah, White.
I think Waino is the safest amongst those guys, but I think Manoah has the highest upside.
Dallas Keuchel, is he in play?
Not for me.
No,
not for you. DFS. I'm going for Steele upside with Lopez. I'm playing him over Riley, or go Santana over Freeman. Thank you guys. So Lopez over Riley or Santana over Freeman. I guess he needs to do one of those two.
I would go Santana over Freeman, I think.
Stevie, you like Yelich tonight?
Yeah, I've been saying for an hour how much I like the Brewers. Yeah.
But Yelich of all people, man. This guy.
Well, you got 2 more minutes to keep saying it. Maybe you can figure out who you're on.
Yelich, he's going to go 1 for 4 with a single and a walk.
It's a very specific prediction, but
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that he does more than that.
JSU's not going to kick my ass. We actually get along. Plus, well, he might be faster than me. He might be able to track me down. But I do use weapons, so he knows that.
Keep it fair.
You answer the Mondesi Cronenworth, LOL. I don't know. Did you guys answer that?
Yeah, like the Mondesi more, but wouldn't have any issue with playing Cronenworth.
Now I remember. It is the Crone Zone. That's a horrible nickname.
And someone in the chat said it is Don Orsillo. So I think
Don Orsillo.
Wrong ex Red Sox guy.
You're right. Dave O'Brien, Don Orsillo.
Yeah.
Don Orsillo, the Sean McDonough copycat, and he finally got his own voice though. That's kind of nice. Tukey and Manoah for the win. Okay, K. Philippe Burner, you got it, pal. Any more questions on the free side? No, that's it. No, there isn't. Kyle Sexton, you're my hero and not my zero. I love you too. So that's great. Just a very good, solid show today. It was very nice. I want you to stick around though. What is it? 7:05 Eastern time. We got to get out of here. Print Factory. If you play NFL DFS and you don't watch the Print Factory, you're a dumbass. That is the slogan for the show because it's true. If you don't watch the show, you're just dumb. So 10 minutes from right now, Run Pure Sports. Would you agree, Steve?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I will be watching as well.
That was a correct answer. Good job.
DC DC's on fire tonight. Print Factory, 7:15 Eastern. The Showdown, Thursday night Showdown for tomorrow's game, 9 o'clock Eastern. That is a show that I'm going to watch because after I joined RPS last year, I started playing Showdown, and it has been profitable. If an idiot like me can do it, you can do it too. Look at that. Now Peter Porker is my friend, just like Izzy. Peter Porker, you're my new friend. You're just going to have to deal with it. Turn that frown upside down. I know it doesn't make DC happy. The more people that hate me, the happier he is. But you know what, DC? I'm getting out of here. We are locked. We got a great show coming up next. RPS NFL 15 is the code. RPS NFL 15 is the code. 15% off the life of your subscription. Watch the Print Factory. DC, wonderful to see you. Stevie, wonderful to see you. Stevie, let's get ready to get out of the show. Do you know what to say to Simon, though? There's a very specific sentence you have to say. Do you know it?
Simon, take us out of here.